Hey, don't look too bad, eh? I'm gonna stop at that school that I emailed this morning. Oh yeah, as I was leaving the community, I'm trying to solve some of my vehicle issues. Um, as I'm risking my only home um, to try to find work so I can repair things and keep living in what is essentially a dysfunctional closet, very small. I'm finishing some leftovers. Shouldn't eat bread really. Some of it is bread that, even if it says, sourdough or different grains, that in most countries of the world is you are allowed to lie to the citizens that you sell products to uh, for the sake of profit. And if politicians try to protect, or doctors or dentist, I might get a third dentist to fix the same place for the third time. Now, they could fix it more permanently, but that costs ka-ching that I can't get, although the politicians say problem solved, I don't know. And they want to charge more for things that are temporary, so that's pretty sad. Now, we might want to have less sugar in our food industries if we have shortages of doctors and dentists, but I mean, people don't want that. They want more drugs, more alcohol, more sugar, and more caffeine. So, and then these doctors are so greedy, they stop thinking about their patients a long time ago because they're so happy there's a waiting list. They feel good about themselves. People die during these waiting lists, but they feel great about themselves. I stopped at a place. I'll try to check a few things on my vehicle before I go. Yeah, it turns out it is broken, that T-piece on top of the radiator. So I ordered it for tomorrow at a different community I hope to get to. I tightened a new battery bolt that got loose, and I put a washer that I found, a locking washer. My deep cycle battery, the secondary battery, yeah, no, it didn't keep its charge after being charged for hours yesterday. But I also think there's wiring issues again. It just doesn't like the cold. Do you see? It's pretty messy right now. Sorry, when I leave a place, it's really messy. Do you see the middle part? That's a console that is very hard to get out because it's been changed, the front of this bus, that you don't open the door by hand anymore. You open it mechanically, through the electricity. And there's duct tape too to seal a lot of the holes. You could see through the floor with the rust there. But, a tune-up for this vehicle of 8 cylinders requires this side for half the engine, and underneath or maybe on top for the other side under the hood. I'd like to do some of this myself. Can't do it this time of year. Change the spark plug, I can do that. And it turns out if I'm having problems with the distributor cap right now, I think it's under here. I can't even find that information of this vehicle and the details, and so many weird things happened to this vehicle. So they were sad to see me go, I washed my dishes again this morning, and they weren't there to notice, the lady, but I mean, I do it in a way that uses so much less water than she does. And last time I rinsed recycling, I said, where do I put it in the garbage? They put it in the garbage. And I said, oh, it's sad I didn't get some samosas from you, because I told her the story of working at the Indian embassy, her country of origin. I wish would learn about how spiritual or useful water is, healthy water, not to waste it that much. Sacred, They would say, well, how dare you say that? Well, it's not talking the talk. Every culture says it's sacred, except they fail. They don't walk the talk about water being sacred, and we need that for life. So it's an example of anti-life again. Not recycling in a place that is not that hard to recycle, that they live now. People from East India, it's pretty sad. And, the samosas. Oh, I have to go shop in the big city far away to buy potatoes. Yeah, because she doesn't want to pay the price at the local store that's more expensive. And it's the only one, so they take advantage. But It's like when I'm doing research in the north of Nanaimo, in the north of Vancouver Island and Port McNeil. One of the store closes, two grocery stores, and the other is going to go way crazy on the prices. They were already high on both, but somewhat manageable compared to long drive to Campbell River. And they were going to take advantage. Now, in that time, doesn't mean that, let's say, the fuel went up to get the food there. You just got to order a bit more, and it'll come, right? I don't know if the truck will need an extra trip, maybe not, or just come a bit more often, or a secondary truck, whatever it is. It shouldn't raise the prices that much, but they will. The lady doesn't want to buy some at the local store. Potatoes. Sure, they're not going to be like 3 times the price of regular potatoes. And to give me a free samosa, because I told her the story when I worked at the embassy, how I went to a place with the immigration police from India to go check in on some large quantities of samosas that they were making for a big event, and that the elites would benefit from. So yeah, but she's still charging me way too much, and it's still not too bad. People like me because I'm friendly and I problem solve and I don't get aggressively intense. I disagree, and some people disagreeing, it's like a punch in the face to them. It's like they're so not used to somebody having human thinking compared to them. We're just saying, oh, I don't agree with that. I'm not going to do that. Now, people would love me even more if I could get a credit card. And the more I increase the limit on this credit card, so they could just love me more because money would move around. Well, that's not a human community. They could keep me longer and get to know a tiny bit more of me, but not as much as I learn about them by just observation, for example. Everything okay there? So, yeah, good news. Cal Tire, where I was, the guy came out. He was helpful, actually, trying to find out what was going on with my engine being hard to start installing. But he took the nail that was in my tire, and it was okay. It was just a piece. There's a tiny piece left, but in a part that's not going to puncture. So that's good news. But yeah, the radiator piece is more cracked now. Wasn't noticeable on the top before. And it's been ordered in some town I might get to tomorrow. So I'm hoping now, dressed nice, that I'll introduce myself to this school. Again, I don't expect much. I expect like they'll be shocked and it'll be ridiculous, their responses. Who are you? I sent them a criminal record check. 7 references related to education, 5 references related to counseling, and a resume that shows all of my post-secondary courses. I mentioned other things, that I have my class 4, blah, 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 certified life skills coach. But again, I say my training exceeds ECE's regular diploma. Just with my psychology courses from the bachelor's, but also the life skills coach training has similar credit scores to it, and also other things I said. But I have the basic responsible adult as per policy, and I'd like to volunteer. and I'm worried about my vehicle, but if it's nice, I'll stay there for longer, whatever it is. So I don't expect much, okay? I don't know if there's any male teachers there because the 3 emails were females. But and Martin, you might say, oh, Martin, why do you expect them to be negative or say, well, it's because of the past, right? The past is that, it's been ridiculous, the responses. So, and again, I think you guys forget I talk about my theory, which is the majority of you act a certain way. I'm always, like, sometimes, like, if I go in a place and let's say somebody from the Philippines or India, but their customer service skills, like one place I came from there, I gave a couple. I said, wow, your customer communication. And she said it's because she's the owner. It's different than staff as the answer. But I'm just shocked somebody can communicate at human levels sometimes in fast food places or from certain cultures that care enough, that receive a compliment that they deserve and that I can notice right away. Now, would I get this from educators, this thing that I got from the owner of a Subway? I don't know, but chances are not based on the past. And my theory predicts, yeah, it's probably going to be about the same where I go. But I keep trying because it's not about them, the adults that work there. It's not about me. It's about the learners, the children.